Happy New Year, beautiful. So, I can't remember if I even updated you. It happened so fast. I'm with 3 other people that were traveling together. Several of them wanted to get their pilot's license. So then the best place to get it was the States, but we had to get into the States before December 31st. Long story short, long bus ride. We were on the bus for like 26 hours. And that was a lot of fun, going through a lot of cartel country, and the bus got pulled over several times and got searched, and it was very interesting. We went up and crossed at the border crossing up near Laredo. It's called Eagle Pass. And so we crossed into the States and then made our way to San Antonio yesterday. So we're in San Antonio, Texas now. What a crazy ride, but I feel like a free spirit.
Hey guys, it's Adele. I'm coming at you today with another video that can help you reach your true potential and live an authentic and fulfilling human life. Today I'm going to talk about 5 things I wish I knew before I moved to Mexico. Stay tuned. So this is a new development that I've spoken about. I have lived in Mexico for about a month now, and I am absolutely loving it. This is a move that I have considered for a while now. For many years, just living in Canada, the past year that I lived in the United States, I do remember just always looking around at the way society went. The way the people were, the pace of things, how, the cost of living, the weather, and I was generally unhappy with it. I was unhappy with it for a very long time. And I was like, I really don't fit in with this society and culture, and here I am working my ass off so I can stay here. And I don't think life is meant to be that way. And I didn't have a solution for it at the time, right? I remember thinking, where am I going to go? I was looking up if I could get citizenship in the countries that my parents were from, and thinking like, would I want to live in Guyana? Apparently no. And then with the whole global situation going on, I started finding like-minded people moving to Mexico and finding places that really worked, where it was like walkability, low cost of living, safety, proximity to mountains, beaches, volcanoes, mom and pop joints on the corner, taco stands, and also like high-end restaurants, like everything kind of included, not too many tourists. I am living my absolute best life. Yesterday was one of the best days of my life. Have you ever had a day where, you just like realize that you're doing the exact thing that you should be doing? I took my very first Wing Chun martial arts class. So there I was, surrounded by these people, this instructor who was just like fully embodied, and just seeing what they could do and thinking that I'm working and training with them. It felt like a moment of destiny. There was like the volcanoes as the sun was setting outside, in the distance, with this beautiful breeze coming in while we're working out. And I'm surprised I could lift my arms today. That's impressive. Now, if you've been watching my videos for a while, you know that my life was not always like this. I was very much into self-sabotaging. I did all kinds of things to try to hurt myself based on programming that was stuck in my brain from when I was very young, right? I came from a very abusive and neglectful household. I've had a number of ups and downs along the way, right? I made a lot of money online by sharing my story and by sharing the things I loved and was interested in with the world. That's been one of the greatest blessings of my life. That's the reason why I was able to move here. But I also have struggled, with choosing the wrong relationships, with taking jobs that I really hated, binge eating, procrastination. But I've been working for these solutions my entire life. And recently I finally hit on the thing that kind of brought it all home for me, which was the self-hypnosis and also learning to manage my brain state. And I'm really excited. You all know I've been waiting to say this to you guys for a very long time. Click the link below. Yeah, so you can click the link below. I'm doing a free webinar on Sunday the 16th. You do not want to miss it. Attendance will be limited. And yes, of course, I'm going to be selling something, so bring your wallets. Come on now. You all know me. I really want it to just be something that can completely blow your mind, have an effect on your life that very day, and kind of bring together a community of people who you know are like-minded on the same path as you. Because if you're a cycle breaker, if you're ending generational curses in your family, it can be lonely. So with that all said, let's get into the video. So the very first, most important thing that I wish I knew about before I came to Mexico was culture shock. I'd heard about it before, and I just assumed it wouldn't happen to me. I thought I had, emotional coping skills. I kind of have my brain under control. I'll be okay. But probably about the second or third day that I was here, the enormity of what I had done by moving here kind of hit me, and the feeling of how difficult it would be for me to leave if I wanted to go home. I had been doing the thing that I wish I hadn't done, which was reading all the horror stories online, right? There's going to be a lot of horror stories online of people telling you the worst things that happened to them. While it's important to be mindful, be wary, understand where you are, what's going on at the time. If people told you the worst things that happen in the States or in Canada, you would think it was unsafe to go there too, right? So it's all about exercising discernment, and my discernment has grown immensely since coming here. But yeah, I started to have a meltdown, and I started having feelings like everyone was out to get me. I'd read these things about pickpocketers and scammers and everything else, and here I am thinking I can't trust anyone around me. I don't speak their language, and that's not normally the way I think. I was also feeling like I made a huge mistake and I need to leave. And recently I've been learning the difference between the voice of intuition and the voice of fear. Right? My intuition comes through as a calm, knowing understanding. That could be something indicating danger, like I have to get out of here now, right? Versus the voice of fear, which is like, oh my God, And fear's like, I think, right? The fear is about, I think this is going to happen because of this thing that I saw or this thing that I read. It's not being present in the moment, using all knowledge and information, noticing things around you, and having intuition. It's just this little program that's popping off in my amygdala. Another thing I know is that humans have in-group preference. So we like to be in situations where we feel like we are a part of the group and we are a part of the tribe. And humans are visual creatures. We use language to communicate. So if you're in a place where you look completely different, you stand out in a way that people know that you're different immediately, and you can't communicate through language, it can be a huge blow to your sense of mental and emotional well-being. So I experienced this one day. I just had the worst, and I was like, I need to go back to Canada. And trust me, that's like the last thing I want to be doing, during this time of year and with everything that's going on there right now. So what I actually did is I realized the state that I was in was unnatural to me and not healthy. And so then I started thinking, okay, what is going on, right? Many people, when we experience these difficult or unpleasant emotions, we just think that's who we are and that's what's going on. But for me, I know how the brain works, and I know it can get tripped over on some things and start to create something that's not really there, right? That happens a lot of times with limerence or love, right? A person trips off your attraction mechanisms. They're being nice to you. There's like some kind of subconscious thing that reminds you of something from your childhood or one of your parents, and you can feel, oh my God, I love this person. This is the one. You can feel stuff like that. So it's very important to be aware of what your brain can convince you is going on. And so for me, I was like, this is not normal. Let me look it up. And I thought, what's culture shock? So I looked it up, and I was like, oh, this is what I'm going through. And some people don't make it through culture shock. Some people feel that craziness and they take off. They get on a plane and they're back to their own country, and they regret coming and stuff like that. But for me, when I read what was going on and I understood that this was a brain state that I could change, I contacted some fellow expats. That's something that you kind of want to do when you're going through culture shock, is get in touch and in person with someone who's also here. I made calls to like my therapist. I like booked people. I entered into 12-step groups online, the phone calls. So I was part of a group and talking to people. And I did a number of exercises just to calm my body, to convince it that this was safe and that I'd made the right choice. I took my greatest fears that my mind was telling me and I wrote out solutions to what I would do if those things happened, so that I kind of knew that I had played that out in my mind beforehand, so I'd be prepared if it ever did happen. Things like if I had to go to the hospital, who would I call? What if I called and they didn't speak English? So I wrote down things that I might say if I had to call the hospital in Spanish. And I kept them on me. If I couldn't speak, I could show it to someone that said, hi, I need help. Can you know. Ultimately, I am so glad that I made it through that very short bout of culture shock, and that I know what it would look like if it pops up in me again. But I'm so glad I made it through, because now I'm just discovering a way of life. And I've made some new friends here in Mexico, like people who just treat you like family. And I'm really kind of getting to see more of how the Mexican way of life is. And I'm so grateful for it. I'm really loving it so far. And if I had just believed in my fear and panicked and gone home, I really don't think that was the right thing for me. So I'm really glad I got through that. The second thing I wish I knew before coming to Mexico is don't get money at the airport. There are scammers that hang out at the airport. And not only that, but the fees on the machine are exorbitant. At the beginning, the ATM will ask you, sometimes it'll be in Spanish, so you don't even know. It's like yes or no. It's offering you the bank's exchange rate, which is a way for them to make money. It's a little bit of a scam. So typically you see that on a screen that you want to use an ATM, you just hit yes. Choose no. I wish I knew that. The third thing I wish I knew before coming to Mexico is about the police. It's not like in Canada where I've like mouthed them off before. You can't go waltzing around here in Mexico talking about your rights. It's not like that here. You kind of want to find out specifically where you're going and talk to other expats or people in that area to find out what the culture with the police is like. I remember going to an ATM at a bank here, and I see this big like truck pull up with guys in the back in military uniforms holding automatic weapons, and I was like, oh, okay. That was the police. They're kind of always around. You want to be respectful. For where I live, it's not really something I have to worry about. I keep a copy of my passport and my FMN on me at all times, just in case, and that's it. You have to have a bit of situational awareness and street smarts in order to kind of get out of those situations in the right way. If you're someone who's pretty much like relied on rules and laws to protect you and keep you safe in life, you're probably best sticking to like tourist areas and stuff like that. You want to be able to be someone who can kind of read a situation, pick up on nonverbal cues, stay calm, and maybe like be able to play to the situation depending on how it seems like things are going. I've heard about people doing things like completely pretending they don't understand Spanish over and over again, just speaking only English, to the point where cops who have been trying to get money off of them just get frustrated and leave. But then there's other times when you just like give them 100 pesos, which is like $5, and call it a day. Also want to be able to talk to and befriend the locals, because they can kind of let you know what's up, where to go, who to avoid, what not to do. So the fourth thing I wish I knew before coming to Mexico, and this is random, but they don't like licorice. That is a conclusion I've come to because I can't find it anywhere. Like, I totally love licorice tea. Like, I usually drink it every single day. I've gone to health food stores, natural stores, herbalists, and they don't even know what I'm talking about mostly. Or they're just like, no, we don't have it. Same thing with like licorice candy. You can't get that here. I don't know what's up with that. Mexican people, please tell me in the comments below, why don't you all like licorice? It's super good, okay? And then the fifth thing is skincare. I was worried when I came here that I wouldn't be able to find the skincare that I like. And that has been completely put to rest. First of all, they do have all kinds of skincare here. Some from back home, like Vichy. I've seen Biotherm here, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's good. But all the crazy expensive retinols and AHAs and everything else that I was using in order to stay youthful looking and live in a windy, cold climate full of miserable people, I don't need here. The Mexican lifestyle has been doing me very well. I have, hold on, papaya for breakfast every day, fresh fruits and vegetables from the market, all this good vitamin D from the sun, lack of stress, happiness, drinking lots of water. One of my favorite things is at the fruteria, you can get agua de coco. They take a young coconut and cut it open right in front of you, pour it into a glass, and you get a straw. And yes, that's been one of my little favorite snacks as well. So I haven't been using my expensive skincare, but I'm looking at my skin and I'm like, I look healthier than I have in a really, really long time. Even just like losing weight from, less inflammation, less stress. I really do think that the natural sun and the vitamin D is playing a big difference for me. But yeah, the amount of money I'm gonna save on skincare alone by living here is impressive. So that's everything I've got for you all today. This has been super fun. I will be back again soon. Make sure you like and comment below if you're enjoying these frequent uploads. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. I think I'm going to go hummingbird hunting. Adios.